the attack last night in Poland shows that Putin's belief that he can somehow act with impunity.
Can I echo the Prime Minister's condemnation of Netanyahu's attacks on Qatar? These are not the actions of a leader truly focused on getting hostages home.
I'm sure the Prime Minister recalls visiting the Ukrainian community of Acton with me soon after Putin's illegal invasion. They still fondly do, and they wanted me to ask him next week at Trump's state visit, can he harness his unique role with US influence and the coalition of the willing in Europe to the max and redouble all efforts to find a just peace with security guarantees for them and war crimes punished, so that we can end this war that's gone on far too long?
Yeah. I do recall the visit. It was extremely good and very welcoming. And our support for Ukraine, Mr. Speaker, remains unwavering. And the attack last night in Poland shows that Putin's belief that he can somehow act with impunity. And that's why we're working so hard with the coalition of the willing to ensure that there are security guarantees as we go forward, made real progress in recent weeks. We must continue to ramp up the pressure on Putin.
Terrible.
Mr. Speaker. Today is the 10th annual Back British Farming Day. And given the Prime Minister is so keen on resets in recent weeks, will he reset his relationship with our farmers and reverse the family farm tax?
Well, Mr. Speaker, let me tell you what we're doing. We're working with the former President of the National Farmers Union, Baroness Minette Batters, to review farm profitability. Mr. Speaker, this is the key issue. We are delivering the 25-year farming roadmap, and of course we've struck a deal with the EU, which is of great benefit to farmers, which of course they all say they will reverse. Mr. Speaker, that's on top of the £5 billion that we put into farming in our last budget.
Final question, Liz Twist.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. It can be scary to talk about suicide, but we need to. So many of our constituents will know or love someone who has taken their own life, or they may have suicidal thoughts themselves. But suicide is not inevitable, it's preventable, and everyone has a role to play in saving lives. So will the Prime Minister reaffirm this government's commitment to preventing deaths by suicide and say how the government is tackling this vital issue?
Mr. Speaker, can I start by thanking her and paying tribute to her for her work as my PPS for the last 14 months. She has worked tirelessly with huge commitment and respect across the whole of this House. In relation to suicide prevention, I think this is something that matters to everybody in this House. I will reaffirm our commitment, and I'll work across the House with all members to deal with suicide prevention.
Can I join the Prime Minister in sending our condolences to His Majesty and the royal family on the death of the Duchess of Kent? And can I echo the Prime Minister's condemnation of Netanyahu's attacks on Qatar? These are not the actions of a leader truly focused on getting hostages home. And I hope the Prime Minister will say that directly to President Herzog later today. On Suicide Prevention Day, Mr. Speaker, can I thank all working to prevent suicides, from professionals to charities like the Samaritans. Mr. Speaker, when I talk to parents of disabled children, there's one complaint about government that comes up time and again. All the hoops they must jump through, from EHCPs to the DWP to HMRC. Caring is exhausting enough without all the forms and rules that show no understanding of the realities of life as a carer. It's something Emily and I know well. It's something that the now former Deputy Prime Minister brought attention to last week. So will the Prime Minister work with carers across this House to overhaul systems for family carers so government works much better for people looking after their loved ones?
Well, I do agree with him. There are too many hurdles and too many hoops that have to be gone through, and that's why we're simplifying the system, and we will, of course, work across the House with all those who want to achieve that outcome. Can I also just thank those dealing with suicide prevention? I think probably everybody in this House knows someone who has taken their life, and it touches all of us, and we must do everything we can together to prevent suicide.
Sir Ed Davey.
Moving on, Mr. Speaker, as the Leader of the Opposition said, Lord Mandelson has admitted to continuing his relationship long after Epstein was convicted, and that there are more embarrassing details we don't yet know. Mr. Speaker, people will be surprised by the Prime Minister giving Ambassador Mandelson such strong support today. So can he tell the House, has the Prime Minister asked the Ambassador what other compromising material the Trump administration might have on him as he leads Britain's negotiations with the White House?
Well, Mr. Speaker, as I've made clear to the House, a full due process was gone through when the appointment was made.
George Newbury.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My constituent Connor Edwards lives with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and craniocervical instability, which in his words means his head is slowly falling off his body. Having once enjoyed fishing and mountain biking at the age of 30, Connor's now largely bedbound and says his condition has destroyed his quality of life. He's also having to crowdfund for treatment in Spain because the NHS can't give him the help he needs. Could the Prime Minister ensure that myself, Connor and EDS charities get a meeting with the Minister to discuss what more we can do to give thousands of people like Connor their freedom back?
Mr. Speaker, I've read through the details of Connor's case that's just been summarised. It is heartbreaking. I do thank my honourable friend for consistently campaigning and championing all of those that are affected. I will make sure that he gets the meetings that he needs so we can hear from Connor and others and learn from their experience.
Stephen Flynn.
Mr. Speaker, Gaza is a graveyard, but rather than end arms sales, extend sanctions and stand by international law, the Prime Minister will today welcome into his home, a home entrusted to him by the people of these isles, the man who called for the collective punishment of the Palestinian people and who signed the artillery shells that destroyed their homes, their families and their friends. A man who will ignore every word the Prime Minister says. Would he invite Vladimir Putin into number 10? Would he invite Benjamin Netanyahu into number 10? What does it say of this Prime Minister that he will harbour this man whilst children starve?
Mr. Speaker, for the record, we have suspended arms that could be used in Gaza, we have sanctioned extremists, and we suspended trade talks. But the point he raises is a very serious one. We all want an outcome that ensures peace, that the hostages get out, that aid gets in, and there's a two-state outcome. It is the only way we will get peace in a region that has suffered conflict for a very, very long time. I will not give up